Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Today let's talk about zero-tick pulse generators. Yes, indeed. I know it's not an easy topic, but I'll do my best to show you all I know about it. And for me, it all started with Sancarn's video about teleportation, mainly the part about block transportation. And after I saw it, I just had to experiment with these contraptions, and I did. And I think I've discovered really nice configuration of pistons, which creates a zero-tick pulse generator, which is easy to use and also easy to understand. But before I will talk about it, let's start from the beginning, from the scratch. So if you don't know anything about zero ticks, it is kind of advanced stuff. So uh, I hope you will be able to understand me. But let's start again from the beginning. So this game has some ticks in it. There is 20 game ticks in 1 second, and each game tick, this Minecraft, the game does something. So for example, the delay of this repeater is 2 game ticks. That means it will take 2 game ticks delay, that is 0.1 second, to propagate an information from this side to this side. For example, if I power this side, it takes 0.1 second to extend this piston. And that you cannot really do anything about it. You cannot do it anyhow faster. But there is also something called instant wire. And it is basically when I you can see it all happened instantaneously. All these pistons can retract instantaneously, and after that, of course, you need to wait for it to reset. But just the idea that something can happen in one game tick. All this happened in one game tick. So how it exactly works, you can ask how it works that you can do something like that so fast. And the answer is that when you not unload when you unpower this iron block, it will just update all the blocks that are around it, and it will add these blocks to some list of updated blocks. So it will just process all these blocks, and after it gets to this sticky piston, it will realize that it is no longer powered, because there is no power around it. So it will start retracting this redstone block, and when this block is moving, it cannot really power anything. We can just do a simple experiment. You can see that for a split second the redstone line is not powered, even though this redstone block should be either here or somewhere in the middle. But when it is in the middle, it cannot really power anything because it is an entity that is moving. And when it is, when you unpower this sticky piston, it will just destroy this block that is here. It will create an entity that is moving, but it will also tell this sticky piston that it was updated. And the game will again process all the blocks that were updated, and after it grabs this sticky piston, it will again realize that this block is no longer here. There is an entity that is being retracted towards this piston, but it is not powered. So it will again start moving with this redstone block, and that will cause an update for this piston that will retract this redstone block, and so on and so on, because there is a list of blocks that are updated. And basically we can do the same thing, for example, with signs, because if you destroy one sign, all the other signs will pop off. Uh, that means in one tick, it just propagates, the update just propagates, and it can all do it in one game tick. And the same applies when you extend a sticky piston. It's not only when you are retracting it. If you extend this piston, it will also destroy this redstone block here. It will change it for an entity, redstone block entity, that is moving in this direction. And of course, after 3 game ticks, it will create a redstone block here. But that doesn't really matter. We are now talking what happens in that one game tick, you know. So in that one game tick, it will destroy this redstone block, and that will cause an update for this sticky piston, which will retract as well, you know. So it also happens instantaneously. So we can say that there is a 0 tick delay between these pistons because there is really no delay at all, you know. So yeah, we can say it like that. And another thing you should know is that if you have a sticky piston like this with a block on top of it or anywhere, when you unpower it while it is moving or extending, it will leave the block up here, you know, or anywhere, you know. It depends on the orientation of this sticky piston, but anyway, let's just that was not like this. Let's do something like this. Okay, so this works because when this block, sticky piston, when it is extending and you will unpower it while it is extending, it will immediately leave the block here and it will start retracting the piston head. So thanks to this, we can leave the blocks somewhere, you know. This is really useful thing. Of course, redstoners are using this for ages, you know. But it also means that if we would be able to power this block and unpower it in one game tick, we would be able to transport this block to this position instantly. So basically, what we want with 0 tick pulse generator from it is to be able to power and unpower this sticky piston in one game tick. So it creates a 0 tick pulse. Basically, it will power this line and then it will unpower this line. And because first we powered it, this sticky piston changed a state that it is extending, you know. It just changed a state, it is extending. It will destroy this block, it will create an entity that is moving in this direction. But after that, we will unpower it in the same game tick, and that will just leave the block here. It will instantly create it here, and it will start retracting the piston head, you know. And that is what the zero game tick pulse generator does. So for example, we have this door, you know. This is a really simple door, but we can make it even faster. And if you don't believe it, yes, we can, but it is hard to see. But right now you can see that we can see how it is moving, you know, to the right and to the left, or to the left and to the right, I meant. And we can create here the old 0 tick pulse generator like this. And basically now when we power this, it will instantly yeah, create a door here. We can, yeah, you cannot see that it is moving in this direction, basically like that. It just transports all those blocks there. And why it does it? It is because we, when we power this block, let's unpower it, okay? When we power this block, it will also not only power these blocks, you know, these will start extending themselves, but it will also start extending this sticky piston, which will destroy this redstone block here. This will be exchanged for an entity that is moving in this direction, you know. So that will also update this sticky piston, which will start retracting. And that will immediately destroy also this gold block, which will be no longer here, and that will also update these sticky pistons again. And that will cause that, first of all, we made a signal, you know, we power it, and after that we unpower it in one tick, game tick. And this is the 0 tick pulse generator that what he what he called Defanive. Yeah, Defanive made a really nice tutorial about these 0 tick pulse generators. I will of course link all the guys in the description, so check them out. Check Defanive, definitely, and you can see that it is faster, but still there is a problem, because if you have something like this, you know, this is the same thing but just mirrored. If you have this, it is instantly moving with this block, of course, but it is kind of impractical, because the zero tick pulse is just next to this gold block, you know, because we power this gold block, it will power this sticky piston, that will destroy this redstone block, it will start moving with it, you know, and that will update this sticky piston, which will realize that it is no longer powered, you know, there is no redstone block above it. There is just entity that is moving in this direction, so it will retract this gold block, and this gold block was the thing that was powering this sticky piston, and that means that it will also update this sticky piston, which means that this sticky piston is moving, but it was unpowered, and that will just leave the block here and start retracting the sticky piston, or the head of it. So that is how it works. But the problem is again that you cannot just grab the signal from it, because you know, it doesn't propagate through the block. You cannot really use, for example, a repeater, you know, that doesn't make any sense, because then it is no longer a zero tick pulse generator, or it doesn't happen in one game tick. So my idea was to just, you know, I saw this and I was experimenting with this, and I had an idea that what would happen if we had a redstone block right here, you know, and that is the whole idea of my generator, zero tick pulse generator. So we can just have a sticky piston here with a redstone block here, and this sticky piston just pushes this redstone block inside here, so that will update this. Let's unpower it again. When the redstone is here, that powers this piston, that will destroy this redstone block, that will update this piston, it will retract this redstone block, and that will create a zero tick pulse, because in one tick we powered it and unpowered it, and it can be grabbed, you know, you can grab the signal out of it with just redstone line, and you can see that both these sticky pistons are doing the same thing. When you power it will just immediately teleport or transport these blocks 1 meter away from them. That's really nice, isn't it? So, of course, with this set, we can just extend this machine, or not machine, contraption, and we can just have one sticky piston extending after another, you know. So this is a line of my zero pulse generators. There is not really much to it, you know. We are just extending this redstone block that will create a zero pulse here, but it will also create a zero pulse for this sticky piston, which will immediately extend or transport this redstone block in here, which will again create a zero pulse here, which will again, because it is zero pulse, it will immediately transport this redstone block in here, and so on and so on. You know, you can have a whole system of these, and of course you don't need to necessarily use one next to each other. You know, you can have a redstone line like this, and after that have these contraptions, you know, like this. We are pushing it here. You can have it like this, and this works as well, you know. This will create another zero tick pulse right here, you know. Just test it. Of course, you can see where I am going. So first of all, in the first zero tick, we will extend this piston, and that will transport this block here. After another zero tick pulse or zero tick delay, we will extend this sticky piston, which will just transport this block here instantly, you know, because it was powered, it was extending, and while it was extending, we unpowered it, and that means that it is leaving the block here, you know. You cannot do this with normal pistons because of it, you know. You can use just sticky pistons because they can grab the thing, you know, and the sticky piston, when you unpower it, it can leave the block behind, so called, but it is not really leaving the block, you know. It just changed the state that it is moving, that it is extending, and after that we unpowered it, and so it just kind of left the block there, but it wasn't even there, you know. It was still somewhere here. It was an entity that was moving in this direction, but it was kind of transported, you know. After that, you can see that after another zero tick, you know, here, it will just extend this block here, and after another one, right here, this line, it will extend this sticky piston. So let's just watch it. And are you ready? Okay, boom. And you can see that you need to wait for that first sticky piston to extend, but after that it instantly transports this diamond block like 1, 2, 3, 4 meters away, or it's not really 4 meters because it's diagonally, but you know, like zigzag it is 4 meters. So of course this is kind of handy because we can use this in contraptions, and it is not really hard to use it because you can have just redstone line, you know. With the previous design, with this thing, you had to create these contraptions next to pistons, but with this design you can kind of just have a redstone line that goes into a piston, and we are kind of extending it here, 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 you know, one after another, and it all happens in one game tick, you know. So we are calling it that all these are zero tick delays and zero tick pulses. So let's just there is an issue with this block still because we need to wait, you know, for this will be lit up, and after what is it, 3 game ticks, it will move this block from here to here, you know. But it is still kind of not as fast as it could be because we can still use the old zero pulse generator right here, you know. Let's extend it, and this will cause that it will create immediately a zero tick pulse here because, you know, when we power this, it will immediately it will update this block, it will destroy this block, it will update this block, it will destroy this block, and that will update this block, that will destroy, or not destroy, that will immediately transport this block here, you know. And as well, of course, up here, it is also immediately after that transporting this redstone block here, because first of all we powered this block down here, and that powered this block, so it would just extend normally, you know. But we also, in the same tick, we just destroyed this block that was powering it, and that caused this block to leave this block instantly here, you know. Like this basically. So you can also grab the signal out of here, but it is not a pulse, you know. It is instant. This is an instant wire like here, because it will instantly transport a signal from this line to this line, you know. There is no delay, but it is not a pulse, so you cannot really use it for some useful things. But you will need to use another one of these to you know, transform the signal to a pulse. So this is creating a pulse when you have a signal that is not a pulse, but you can use these zero tick pulse generators because these are creating pulse, and of course if they receive a pulse it is immediate. So we can use it like this, and it is so instant that it is kind of nice to use it, you know. Ping. It is here. Ping. Yeah. So nice thing, but let's continue. You know, we don't have all day just to mess around with this one contraption. So here the same thing, you know, I already built this here. We can even have the lamp here so we can see how fast it is, but also it is not only you can apply it also to the droppers because it depends on the order. And I don't know if you saw a test video about instant dropper lines. This is basically an instant dropper line, but also you can, you know, do everything. You don't need to have only a line, you know, you can use something like this and just connect the redstone to it. But of course, test design is much smaller, so I don't think you should use it for an instant dropper lines, but just to show you that this first dropper has some fireworks in it, firework rockets, and all the other droppers have nothing in it, but of course there's a dispenser, the last thing here. And what we are doing here is that after first zero tick we will power this dropper. After another zero tick, we will power this dropper. After another zero tick, we will power this dropper. And after that the last zero tick, we will power this dispenser. And that will, of course, transport. Yay. And it is firing two of them because, first of all, there is a pulse, and after that, it will, you know, it will grab the right here, it will grab this block, this redstone block here, it will grab it, it will move it here, so that will create a zero tick, but after that it will also extend this again because this block gets instantly to this position, so it will just slowly, after 3 ticks, it will, you know, transport this block again to this position. So, you know, it will, but it is instant. And you know, you can see that this is not really changing, you know, it all happens in one game tick, so the game cannot even realize that there is something happening with these droppers because it will instantly in one game tick it will all happen, it will all transport these firework rockets to this dispenser and dispense them because that is what we are doing here. So with this said, there is of course a version of this that is one white. So this is what you can do. This is one white version of uh, this design or contraption, how you want to call it. So you know, you are extending this block here that will update this, move with this, you know, this will no longer be here, that will update this block, that will grab this redstone block that will be inside here, and it will move with this, and that will create a zero tick pulse right here, down here, you know, this is output from red clay and input is this lime stained clay. So you can see this is again creating a zero pulse. And what we can use this, we can use this for some tileable designs. Of course, you can use it like that. And um, yeah, basically we were working on some nice transportation lines and you know, things like that with Sancarn, with Selulance, and also with TheGunMaster. And it was a long session, but we came up with really nice, or mainly Selulance and the Gunmaster. I didn't really contribute that much. I just showed them how this works, but it is really nice what you can do with these things, with these contraptions. But here, for example, you can see that it all happens instantly, you know. It is a zero tick pulse because we are just again grabbing this signal and basically copying this contraption down here, because here we have a zero tick pulse, so it will again instantly transport this redstone block in here. That will create instantly a zero tick pulse down here, and again and again and again, you know, you can have a cascade of these and it will all happen in one zero tick, or one game tick, not zero tick. It has you know. Yeah, like that. But of course, you can also grab this block up here, because we are also instantly extending this redstone. But again, the problem is that it is not creating a pulse. But we can create a pulse out of it because we can grab it again with another one of these, and after that we can again grab this block, to one of these and again, so it can propagate like this. But with this system you need to wait for it to reset. So let's see it, and you can see from top it was uh, returning the block, and you could use it, but it's not really I mean, it is smaller, but with 0 ticks you don't want to wait so long for it to propagate from the end to the beginning and to reset it. So this is kind of neat design, but it is useless. But with this design you can use it in kind of this I don't know how to call it, but you can just make it around what is it, a dispenser pillar or dropper pillar, and there are some rockets again in this dropper that is down here, but no other dropper has anything in it, so all these are empty. But we can see that if we power it, it will instantly shoot a rocket up. And again, and again, So this is kind of nice, but also it is totally useless because you can use this just, you can have an instant dropper line upwards just by moving redstone blocks next to it. If you have redstone blocks like this, you can just move with them, and that will create instant dropper pillar, or how you can call it, something like this, maybe not like this, maybe like this. And this is much better. I think test also showed this, but yeah, this is just something you can do with this, but it's not really useful. But let's go, let's see what other things. Yeah, now I should talk about rules. There are still some rules with this, because we are, when we are retracting the block, if you have more than one block, that is kind of problem, because if you extend the first block, of course it is extending all of them, so it will create many entities in this line that and all these entities will be moving in this direction, when you power this sticky piston. But you can retract only the first block, and that means you cannot really after that use sticky pistons to push away these blocks, because these are still entities. You cannot grab them again and leave them. These are slowly in free game ticks moving in this direction. But is it even free game ticks? It might not be free game ticks, I don't know. But yeah, I don't know how many ticks it is, but you can just see it that just look at the diamond block. It won't be really visible much, but you can kind of see that the first thing that was extended was the diamond block, because it was immediately transported here. But all these gold blocks, they were moving in normal speed. They were just pushed away, and they just changed its state to entities, and you cannot really move them because they are not really, movable when they are moving. But you could use this, sticky piston, and just instantly, when you unpower it, it will just leave this diamond block here, even though there is still entity that is moving in this direction. So you can move it like here, but you cannot use all these gold blocks here. It's not possible, or I don't think it is. Maybe you would be able to find something, but I'm not. So let's just say this is the rule that you should use. And yeah, let's see what else is here. So yeah, there is another rule that you cannot, unfortunately, use one piston twice. Uh, there would be a problem if you could do it. You could create an infinite loop that would just crash your game. But I don't think it would be even like it might be useful, but you cannot do that. Just you cannot, you know. Once this piston is unpowering, it will be unpowering forever. You know, it is just its state is that this is not a piston; it is retracting piston, and you cannot power retracting piston. You know, the piston that is just retracting. You know, there is you cannot do it. So that is why this doesn't work. So how it should work? First of all, we are moving this diamond block here. After 1 0 tick, we are extending this piston, you know, so it will move this diamond block right here. And after 2 0 ticks, it will y2, huh? After 2 0 ticks, yeah, you need to wait 2 0 ticks for it to when you it is another rule. When you extend this piston and retract it immediately, you cannot push anything from side for 2 0 ticks. So if you want to make yeah, I will talk about it later, but yeah, just bear with me that you need to wait 2 0 ticks. So after that, we are extending these both pistons, so it will yeah, transport this diamond block here, this gold block, it will be transported here. And after that, after another 2 0 ticks, it will try to extend this gold block right here, but it won't be able to do that because this was already used. You know, this piston is in retracting state, and you cannot power a retracting piston or piston that is retracting, or at least I don't think so. So let's say it is rule. Let's see if we can see it, and indeed this block, this gold block was still here, you know, even though this is really this really powers it, and also this powers it, so it should be here, you know, on here, but it is not. You can clearly see it, even though it is a bit fast, but yeah, this is how it works. So let's have a rule that with 0 ticks you cannot power one sticky piston twice in one game tick, you know. So yeah, that's another rule. And the last rule is with this, you know, that again, you need 2 0 ticks to be able or I'm saying it wrong. Yeah, first of all, let's see what I'm doing here. So first of all, I will extend this sticky piston here, or it will move with this sticky piston in front of it. It will move it here, or transport it immediately here, you know, in first 0 tick or after first 0 tick. After the another 0 tick, it will move with this, you know, this goes into this piston. It will extend this, and it will instantly move this gold block, diamond block here. And after that, you need to wait 2 0 ticks to be able to extend this piston, because this piston head is still retracting, and it needs 1 0 tick, like another 0 tick, to realize that it is no longer here, you know. It needs to create an empty space right here, so you need to wait 2 0 ticks. I know it's kind of hard to imagine it, but you need a little bit more delay, you know, even though it all happens instantly, but just bear with me. So what this does, this is also really nice. I like this. You can just transport this block instantly right here. So let's see it. And pada boom! Indeed, nice. This is so nice. Yeah, we can again do something like this, and again we are just using this piston here, but we can use the old 0 tick pulse generator right here to create a pulse and that will instantly extend this block inside of this contraption, and after that, it just propagates 0 tick after 0 tick, and it will just teleport all these blocks 1 meter away, and so on and so on. So we can use this like instantly, and now, bada boom. I love this. And yeah, Selulance and GunMaster, the GunMaster, they made a really nice, so nice contraption that was just transporting blocks in or teleporting them in one line. And I will put a link into the description. It was really amazing, and I have no idea how those guys are able to make it so compact, because when I'm using redstone, I have a big blob of redstone around all of it, but yeah, you should be able to make it a little bit smaller. And if you watch Cellulance's video about it, he is showing the design, the slice that is tileable, and I made my own slice here, or my own design that is transporting blocks diagonally. Um, but it is kind of easy to understand how it works, so I will show you just this, so you can see it, and of course what will happen. So I will just show you that you can transport this block instantly, and for that we have this clock, so you can see that it is really instant, because this clock is not moving, when we are extending it, even though you can kind of see how these blocks, these not blocks, these sticky pistons are extending. You can see it because we are not running on the server, we are running our client side, and the client side can get even from the server some samples that were not fully computed, or how to say it. So you can see it, but it is still in 1 game tick, so there is 0 tick delay between all of these. You can use it like this, and it is kind of it is nicely tileable. But how this works? Okay, so we have, first of all, of course, we need to power this. After 1 0 tick, we need to power this, and after another 0 tick, we need to power this and this, and so on and so on. So this line down here powers just the block here. So this gets power. This is the first line that gets power. So let's go up and let's see where it comes. No, 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 not this one. This one, because this powers both of these pistons. Of course, I'm stupid, sorry. This guy right here, this powers only the first piston. um, I don't know. Yeah, I cannot really show you, or maybe I can a little bit, but you can see that this powers this sticky piston, and this powers both of them, or like this. Yeah, both of them. So first of all, we send a signal right here. So this splits into two signals. Here it goes into this side, and it is not without any delay. And it also goes to this side, but with 0 tick pulse, 0 tick delay, not pulse. Of course, it is creating a 0 tick pulse here, but it has a 0 tick delay. And basically here there is, without 0 tick delay, it will after another 0 tick, it will go down there, so after first 0 tick, it will extend that piston right there. After another 0 tick, it will do the same on the other side, because we already have this 0 tick delay here, so there is another 0 tick delay here. It is like working with repeaters. There is not really much to it. You just need to think with delay. It is adding one unit of delay, and so we have 2 units of this delay. That is still, it process everything in 1 game tick, but is kind of weird, you know, so it extends this piston. So after that, we have two zero-tick delays right here, you know. The first one is right here, the second one is right here. So this is creating a two zero-tick delay, and this goes into this piston, or both of these pistons, but as you know, you cannot power one piston twice, so it won't really do anything with this piston, it will just extend this piston here. So anything that was here was, first of all, it was transported here because of this first zero-tick pulse delay. After that, there were two pulses, two zero-tick delays, not pulses, you idiot. So this one, and it moved this block to this side, you know, and this side needs to have two zero-tick delays because, you know, we had two there, so we need three, one, two, three, you know, two between each of these, so to here, and that powers this sticky piston after three zero ticks. So it will transport it here. And after another one, you know, all the jazz, it will just repeat itself. So it will go here, this will move it here. And now is the problem where we are adding one more zero tick. You know, this is the first one. We need to add one more because we need to alternate this design. So this signal goes from here, up this lines, and to this zero tick pulse generator that is creating zero tick pulse on this line that goes to another one of these tile level designs, you know, and the whole process repeats itself. So this is all we are doing here, or this is everything I was able to create. But of course, those Selulance and the GunMaster were able to make it so small, or not really so small, but much smaller. So if you want to use something like this, you should use their design because it is much better than my design. But you can kind of see how it works, you know, in general. So let's just see that we can instantly transport this block, you know, we can instantly transport this lamp, and it is kind of fun that yeah, Sancarn, uh, 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 thanks to Sancarn, I learned that you can power, for example, redstone lamp, or we cannot do this with this. Uh, we can have what is it? Glowstone here, and it is kind of creating time dilation because it needs to process all the light updates. And that totally lags the server, so you are able to see how it is moving, you know. It is so slow because it needs to process all the light updates on the way. So that's kind of nice. And what it is doing here? This is weird. So yeah, it is kind of leaving these blocks here. You should have probably something that will grab the block here if you want to use it, but it's not really that useful. I mean, you could use it, but I don't know if this is somehow useful to you. But certainly, if you are a redstoner, you should kind of, you know, consider using these redstone generators. Or it's late, guys. You know, I cannot speak. These zero tick pulse generators because it can kind of make things much faster. You know, it is not only just a theory. Now you can really use it really easily because of it, because you can grab the signal, the zero tick pulse, and just use a redstone line and move it, you know. And for example, yeah, right here, this is fun. So I have this full circle of repeaters. So first of all, we will power this one, after that we will power this one, after that this, and after that this one. So it will return this block again here. So let's see. what it does. And indeed, it just, you cannot really see that this redstone block is moving all the way around. But there is this redstone line, and you can see that this diamond block is being extended and retracted, even though you cannot really see that this redstone line would be powered. And that is again because it all happens in one game tick, you know. So you cannot really see it because there is no game tick that would show it to you, because all it happens in that one game tick. It's kind of fun that to use it, but again you need to wait two zero tick delays or zero ticks for it, uh, like between this extends, so it will just extend this here, and after that you need to wait two zero ticks for it to extend this uh, sticky piston, and after that it will send the signal to this redstone line. Otherwise, if you want to do it, let's just see it right here. You know, we could theoretically grab the signal right here as well, you know, but it is not extending that diamond block because there is not two zero tick delay between these two pistons. Oh, I love this. So, of course, we could just move this line here, and now we should see the other thing. Yeah! Now we are moving that uh, what is it, diamond block, because there is two zero tick delays between these two pistons fire, or these two, I mean these two, of course, because first of all we will push it here, after that we will wait another zero tick, you know, and after that we will power this, so it will transport it immediately here, and after that it will immediately transport it here, so it will just move with this piston. But for some reason, even if there is just one zero tick delay between them, you can kind of, because it depends on the position of these pistons, it is really unstable, but for example in this position it works, you know. So you can see this is the same line. There's not I'm not really using any cheats, you know. I don't know even if you can do something like this, but you can see that it kind of depends on the order in which these pistons, the update propagates through them, you know. So this block was probably updated before this extended, but this updates after that, you know. So this cannot move because it is already, it received a zero tick pulse probably, but it is not updated in that time. So you know, it's kind of interesting that you can test these things, how the order works, and you can just spam this and you can see we might be able to transport something else then, for example redstone lamp. Oh, we cannot do this, but yeah. Why we cannot do this? Oh, should be able. Let's do it from the bottom. I think you can transport a lit up lamp. I don't, yeah, you cannot see it really. You would need to have much longer distance. So yeah, this is how you can use these zero tick pulse generators. I think I've covered everything here. Yeah, here this is the slice of that contraption. So you can see this is an input right here, you know. This receives a zero tick pulse. It will transport this block here. After that it will create a pulse here, zero tick pulse, so it will extend this after the first zero tick delay. After another two, it will receive, this piston will receive a signal, so it will transport the block that is here. And again it goes up. There is another delay, zero tick delay, it goes here, and here it continues to the same thing but copied, but kind of shifted, to here like this, so this is how it all continues, and there are another pistons here, and all that jazz. So this is how it works, guys. I hope you understand now. This was kind of a long episode, but yeah. Let's transport something. This is like 1000 blocks, so you won't really see what it is doing, but let's do it. And I love how all these somehow will just, um, move in one, yeah, like when they are disappearing and all that, but yeah. It is a really long line. I was just copying it in MC-Edit, and if it is too long, it is still in one tick, the game tick, but for the client side you can even move around because, the time dilation, if you saw my video about it, it is kind of independent on the server, so you could say that it is kind of taking not really a 0 seconds, for the block to transport, but it is still a 0 tick, It is instant for the server side, but it might not be instant for your client side because of the lag. But you can see in small scale it is pretty neat, and you can use these things even, for example, on doors, this simple door, and you can instantly shut it. We might be able to just, I might be able to show you that it is doing it. How? I just had an idea that I could have a second line that would go to the, yeah, down here, that would power this piston. Yeah, let's do it. Why not? We have some time, guys. I hope so. Oh. Buff. Like this. Ah, this is still. What happened here? Oh, okay. So let's have this one here. What? This is wrong. This should be here. Okay. So now this should show the difference between the first one. Huh. What is it doing? Yeah, it is. Sorry, it is not creating a 0 tick pulse here. This is kind of hard. Now we should see it. Yeah, you can see that yeah, now it is doing it. So you can see these two guys here, or yeah. This is a little bit faster than the extending down here, but yeah, this is all, guys. Thank you for watching. If you are still here, I cannot believe it, but yay, this was a long episode. I think I've covered it all. If I will remember something new about this, I will show you, but of course, yeah, for example, I just remembered that I just wanted to tell you that this is just a 0 tick pulse. There is it is not normally it gets power after that, and that is why we were shooting two rockets right here, because it gets, first of all, it receives a 0 tick pulse, and after that it also gets power. It also works also in the same order, and that is why this all works, even after that first, that is why it is shooting two rockets. But you can of course create just one 0 tick pulse, but for that you need more pistons. For example, this is creating 0 tick pulse right here, or where is it creating? It's not creating anything. Now it is creating a 0 tick pulse on this line, so of course you could use something like that, but yeah, it's kind of complicated to use something like this. But for example, right here, I was just testing if I could just somehow make a zero tick pulses, and I think here I'm creating them, yes. But yeah, just experiment with it, you know. It's not that hard. You just need to remember that the zero tick delay is still delay for the server, you know. It gets processed in one tick, game tick, but you can just create an order in which some pistons are moving blocks, you know. You cannot really power one piston twice, that is impossible. You also, if you are powering a piston that has a whole line of blocks in front of it, you cannot really use all the other blocks, you know, like uh, I show you right here. But yeah, and what else you cannot do? Yeah, and you sometimes you need to wait 2 0 ticks for something to happen, you know. For example, if you extend this head in here, you need to wait another 0 tick for it to make an empty space here, and that is why I have this line here, you know. If we connect it to here, it won't work. It will do this, and this is not what we want, you know. We want to transport the diamond block all the way. Yay! I'm losing my voice. So this is the end, guys. Thank you for watching. Leave comments if you have some questions. I will answer them. And yeah, bye bye, guys. Bye bye.